Exclusive breaking inputs coming in from the international grounds. Now, Syrian rebels have declared the ouster of President Bashar al-Assad following the complete seizure of Damascus. This is CNN News 18's mega exclusive input by Manoj Kumar Gupta. India will have serious implications after Assad, as India has business and security interests vested in Syria. Assad's departure will benefit terrorist organizations like ISIS, and according to the top intelligence sources, revealing that India has been providing humanitarian assistance to Syria, and an escalation of the crisis could lead to increased demands on India's resources. Well, these are the latest inputs that we're tracking from the ground. Now, joining us on the broadcast is our colleague Akanksha for a better perspective into the entire situation. Akanksha, the removal of Assad could create a power vacuum in Syria, which might embolden terrorist organizations like ISIS also to take control. Now, what steps is India actually taking to mitigate any of these security risks from this growing instability in the region?
Kohina, first of all, we need to focus on the problem. The steps to mitigate such a situation is now going to unfold, because remember, the disturbances still unfold as we speak. So as far as the prime most concern right now, which has already been flagged off by the United States, is of course ISIS are trying to take undue advantage of power vacuum that has been created by Assad's removal. So any benefit to ISIS in Syria will have ripple effects in India, namely because ISIS has now formed a considerable presence through its various modules, especially operating out of southern India. The Kashmir situation was also better handled under Assad's regime. India, nonetheless, has been a very strong contributing partner to Syria. It has been providing humanitarian assistance to Syria, and an escalation of this entire crisis could lead to increased demands on India's resources. That could also include an influx of refugees into neighboring nations around Syria, and that also includes India. How will this entire change now impact our trade and economic interests in Syria in the energy sector? We'll have to see if the rebel forces are willing to go ahead with any kind of economic partnership, because remember, as far as ONGC Desh or OBL is concerned, it has 50% participating interest exploration block 20 point Syria. There have been new discoveries as far as oil fields in Syria are concerned, which was largely benefiting from importing major chunk of oil, as far as 100,000 to up to 150,000 barrels of oil per day were being imported from Syria. It's in fact annually around $2 to $3 billion. India has also provided technical assistance and investment grading refineries, which is also going to impact it severely. India's companies are also working with the thermal power plant extension project. How will our projects now pan out? Will they be stopped? Will they go ahead? These are crucial questions that remain, and the instability in Syria could put all of these projects now at risk, impacting India's own business and economic interests in the region. Apart from economic, what the primary concern, Nina, that remains for us is how will security step up? Will the Western allies, along with the United States, be able to control the threat that ISIS is facing? We've already broken the during your book in terms of those targeted attacks that have been conducted, those airstrikes that have been conducted by the CENTCOM. The damages of which are being assessed now. Will ISIS retaliate? How will this impact the HTS? Is HTS going to still merge with the ISIS? It seems like a difficult possibility, but
right,
one
Akanksha.
nonetheless.
Right, Akanksha, I'll request you to stay with us on broadcast as we